let's talk sleep, or lack of in some cases. So sleep is so important. It is vital for our bodies to function properly in so many ways. It isn't just about not feeling tired the next day. Too little sleep interferes with almost every aspect of our body's functioning. So, menopause. It's rubbish, isn't it, for sleep? Quite a lot of you have reported back that sleep is a problem. So you've got two major things happening. You've got progesterone flatlining, a natural relaxing hormone, sedative, helps us sleep. It really does. Have you noticed that when you are premenstrual, before perimenopause, who had like an evening or two where you could barely keep your eyes open when you were sort of 4 or 5 days before your period, and then you'd be so tired, and that's because progesterone was really high. Progesterone is not helping us right now in perimenopause. It's gone on holiday. And also coupled with that, we've got the serotonin decreases because estrogen has decreased. So serotonin is also really important for having a good night's sleep. Okay, so also we've got to think about cortisol levels. So when we are sleep deprived, cortisol tends to be much higher and much more elevated than an rested person. And annoyingly, cortisol takes 6 times longer to be broken down by the body when we are fatigued. So cortisol is that annoying hormone that causes us to store more body fat, amongst other things. It's not a very nice hormone. Don't like it at all. So looking at my notes here so I don't miss anything. 61% of post-menopausal women in a recent study reported bouts of insomnia. Anyone have that? Insomnia is evil. It's one of my little things I'm having at the moment, and I'm just about to start a new regime, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But I will go to bed feeling fairly tired, feeling quite chilled actually. I won't have to be anxious or anything to then get in bed, my head hits the pillow, and boom, wide awake, absolutely wide awake. Sleep is not on the menu, and I have some nights where I get 3 hours. So I feel your pain if you also are in my shoes. So this is quite a new thing for me. So I haven't really tackled it properly because I've just been putting up with it like women do. I've just been putting up with it for the last kind of couple of months because I've just been aware it's going on, but haven't had the capacity to think, oh yeah, perimenopause, let's just deal with that. So yes, I will tell you what I'm going to be doing momentarily. Okay, so here are some things. I've got some little things I've written down for sleep hygiene. Okay, alcohol. Try to avoid too much alcohol. Alcohol, we may often think alcohol makes us chilled, episode on Netflix with a glass of wine before bed, makes you fall asleep quite easily. Yes, it does help you fall asleep quite easily, but it actually messes up your sleep. It actually really shortens your REM sleep time, which is not good. So try to avoid having too much alcohol, and especially try to avoid having it too close to bedtime. Tip 1. Okay, dinner. Don't eat your dinner too late. So don't give the body too much to do. So don't eat a big meal and then go to bed, because the body's then going to be so busy going, oh God, I've got to digest all this food. It's not going to be focusing on other stuff like, let's get off to sleep. So yeah, and you could get indigestion as well. So try not to eat too late. Try not to eat within 2 hours of bedtime, I would say. Screen time. Who goes to bed with their phone by the bed? Who's looking on social media when they're lying in bed about to turn the light off? I've been known to do that, I have to say. Doesn't help with sleep. So the blue lights that are emitted from mobile phones and iPads and laptops, they suppress the natural secretion or production of melatonin, our sleep hormone. So too much screen time will stop the natural sleep chemical from being released in your brain. So try to turn off the screens 30 minutes before you go to bed. Okay, a cool shower. So one of the reasons why we can have broken sleep in perimenopause, of course, is night sweats, which I will come to in the night sweat section. So I get woken up by night sweats, but I'll kind of cover that in the next bit. But obviously, being exhausted from night sweats is not fun. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I go through cycles of having a night. I have like a week of night sweats and insomnia, and then the next week I sit like a log, and it kind of levels itself out again. Anyway, I digress. Exercise. The jury is out on when is the best time to exercise. People will often say, don't do exercise just before bed because it releases all of those happy chemicals that make you really buzzy and not want to go off to sleep. Well, actually, recent research has suggested it's not quite as cut and dry as that. Do what works for you. I would suggest, though, not doing a HIIT routine at 10:30 p.m. and then getting into bed at 11. I definitely would be a little bit bouncy after that myself. But you can exercise in the evening. Just don't do it right next to bedtime, I would say. That might not help. A good thing to do close to bedtime, though, would be yoga. Or, yoga, meditation. They're all going to be great things to kind of bring down your breathing levels. You're going to be bringing down your cortisol. It's all going to be very good for your parasympathetic system. And I mentioned melatonin a little while ago, our natural sleep chemical. Now, some people take melatonin capsules. I've got a few friends that are pilots that take melatonin capsules when they do flights that are at, random times of the day across the world, and they can't really be tired behind the wheel of a plane. Is it a wheel? Controls of a plane. But they report that they have this, what they call melatonin hangover. So it's hard to kind of get the dose just right. You can have a good night's sleep. You can wake up the next day feeling really groggy, and it's very, very hard to then kind of get it out of your system to start the day. So there's two things that I would recommend and promote. I've tried, the first one is valerian root. I have valerian root capsules. I used to. I was an insomniac when I had hormonal changes during having my babies, and that worked very, very well. So I'm going to try that again. Valerian root naturally does help your body produce melatonin. So try that. And the other one is Montmorency tart cherry juice. So not just bog standard cherry juice from the supermarket. It's called Montmorency tart cherry juice. You keep it in the fridge and you drink it chilled. It's really, really effective. Again, it helps your body's natural production of melatonin. I've put quite a few clients on this and they have reported back that it has helped. And one other thing I was going to say is having a cold shower. I know it sounds awful to have a cold shower before bed, but what they say is if you cool the body's core temperature right down before you go to bed, it does make going off to sleep quicker. So we'll fall into sleep quicker. Don't get in the shower though, or get in the bath to icy water, because that will shock the system and it will really wake you up. So get into the shower and have it on warm, and then gradually turn the temperature down till you are quite cooled. And the last thing I was going to say is really think about what you wear in bed. If you're struggling to sleep because of night sweats, assess what's your bedding made of? What are your pyjamas made of? There are so many really good high performance fabrics that we can buy to wear to bed. We often spend a fortune on gym clothes that wick sweat away. But how often do we think about the quality of our pyjamas? Because that could make all the difference if you're being woken up by night sweats. Have I covered everything? I think I have. I hope that's been helpful.